All right, guys, we're going to talk about running an assault-themed army in Warhammer 40,000 8th edition, my Berserkers of Scalathrax. This is a Khornate dedicated, mono-god, dedicated to the dark gods, dedicated to Khorne, glory on the tabletop. And underneath, this is going to kind of be a primer, and we're going to get into more details with pictures of my army and kind of battle reports and kind of diagrams of how to do this. Underneath this video is the link to my blog, where you're going to be able to search the archives and pull up a number of related articles on here if you want to go in that direction. Now, the great thing about 40K is there are many, many ways to enjoy the game. Many ways. Think about a Space Marine army. Think about a Chaos Space Marine army, an Eldar army, a Necron army, Tyranids. The range of models and tactics and everything really allows you to build the longevity of the game, build a lot of different things. So I'm not here to argue superiority. I'm not here to argue and say this is the best way to play an army. I'm saying if you want to do this, this is how I'm doing it. And from that narrative perspective, there's something I like about, you can have your army, you can have your gun line, you can have whatever you want. I'm going to run across the table. I'm going to get into the assault. I'm going to put you to the chainsword, the chain axe, the bolt pistol, and settle this glory for Khorne. And from that narrative perspective, there's this, it's exciting. There's this tension. It's infectious. There's this tension of, as I'm running across the table where I'm taking losses, and there's this moment. It could go either way. It comes down to pure guts, pure Khornate glory. Can I close? Can I close into the assault and put you to the chainsword and bolt pistol? Or are you going to stop me midfield? You have to be ready for that glory. So this army utilizes what I call a wave theory, in that there's going to be all the units heading towards you, rushing towards you at the same. I need to overload you. Obviously, if I just send out one unit, if I send out some Terminators and a Land Raider, your entire army, whatever whatever power level we're playing at, you're going to shoot everything into that Land Raider, strip away my wounds, doesn't matter how many I have, and just take it out. That's going to be like your whole army versus one unit. Where if I take the entire contents of my army and run everything across the table, now you have to quickly figure, hey, what am I going to shoot into? What's the target priority on there? And tactically, I'm going to do my best to mess with your target priority. So the idea behind the wave theory is, and this is just my terminology so we can begin to conceptualize it, and I'm already getting excited for Khornate glory, and figure out how we're going to do this. Running across the table, the wave theory is that the army is divided up into different pieces that hit on different turns. So they run together, but they stop at certain places on the gaming table and wait for certain turns to then move in and put you to the bolt pistol and the chainsword. I'm going to share with you the units in my army, and you can think about what you have in your Chaos Warband or Heresy, right? Heresy, or your Space Marine army, Black Templar army, or Imperial Fists, another kind of close combat type army. Wave 1 consists of really hard-hitting units that are going to go into your deployment zone fast and furious and keep you busy dealing with them. Otherwise, if I can have 100% of your army firing on 4, 5, or 6 really rock-solid units, then that allows a breathability, and that allows maneuverability for my other pieces on there. This first wave going in, if you have model rage, when you lose models, it's not going to go very well, because you are going to lose. I always lose all of these units by turn 2 or turn 3. That is what they're designed to do. So you need something that's fast, you need something that has a decent amount of wounds, and you need something that is a threat, that hits hard in the assault. It captures your opponent's attention. Land Raider, Terminators inside the Land Raider, classic. I love Land Raiders. Now, if you've been following my Space Marine vids and podcasts, both here on YouTube and on my blog, there's certain units in 40K that I love playing, right? I love playing Terminators. I love playing Land Raiders. I love playing Dreadnoughts. I love playing Vindicators. So it's natural there's going to be kind of some bleed over into my Chaos list. I take a Land Raider, I put the Terminators in it, they rush across the table. Running with them is a Lord on a Juggernaut, Khornate Lord, just running forward. That's iconic. Lord Jared Sin. He's the leader of my war band on there. He's going to run forward with Spawn. I also have a Vindicator moving forward. So those units are pushing forward. That's that wave 1. I also have Terminators dropping in. They're a part of the wave 1. They're not running across, but they're appearing in your deployment zone. So on a side note, you could have units that appear or deep strike in or have some alternate entryways that could hook up with that wave 1. So wave 1 is going to go in and just try to cause as much damage, and if I last to turn 2 or 3, I'm happy. If I last beyond that, it's great. Wave 2 is an expendable group of models. Now remember, these waves, we're calling them wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they all deploy and they all kind of push forward. These models now also run forward and look, I don't want to spend a lot of points, because here's the other thing. I need what's called critical model mass. It's really easy to play 40K and spend the points for really powerful and point or power level heavy models, but it is a dice game. You're going to take losses. It's a D6 based system, and if you don't have enough models, what that means is if you have 1 or 2 turns that are bad, you fail all your armor saves, just you're not causing enough damage to your opponent, which means next turn they hit you really hard, you're going to find yourself mid-game, turn 3, 4, where you don't have enough on the table to generate that volume of dice. So my wave 2 are cultists, hellbrutes, and space dogs. Mauler fiends. They're going to move forward. Mauler fiends are a little pricey, but they fit well. The Mauler fiends go on the left or right side of the table. They're going to open up a flank. They're going to open up and force you to help to try and pull your army apart. The cultists are going to move forward. I'm looking to do just some damage wherever I can. I'm going to shoot off some auto guns. I'm going to run up there. I'm just looking to cause more chaos. And if I can trade cheap units for an expensive unit, I need to bring down the volume of dice. Meaning, if, as an example, if I have a group of cultists and you have a group of Terminators, you're playing Loyalist Space Marines, then I need to thin that volume of dice. I need to bring your dice pool down a little bit. And up in the archive, also on my blog, link is down there under the box, and on my YouTube channel, in the 40K vids, dice pool and volume of dice. This is key to understanding 40K, not only to unlocking these tactics, but understanding 40K in general. If I can take my cheap cultists and through volume of dice take out your Terminators, that is a massive win. So wave 2 is just cheap trash mob moving forward, cause as much more damage as I can. Wave 3. This is the heavy hitting wave. These are rhinos loaded up with cornate berserkers, world eaters, ready to go, bolt pistols, chain swords, chain axes, all that type of stuff on there. Champs, depending on the configuration, depends on the points that we're playing. They roll up, they wait a turn, see where the damage is, they get out, and they clean up crew. The challenge here, when you have an assault-based army, your main hitting wave, your powerful hitting wave, you don't want to lead with that. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to take my powerful stuff and hit it against your powerful stuff. 2 things are going to happen. I'm either going to lose, and then I'm in trouble, or I'm going to win and beat you into a pulp, but then I don't have anything else. I've taken, right, when there's a martial arts saying, when 2 tigers fight, one dies and the other becomes wounded and maimed for life. It's like a Kenjutsu maxim kind of philosophy on there. So with that, if I beat you, I'm going to be so beat up in return that I'm not going to have the staying power, again, the model mass, the volume of dice, to continue to play out the mission or continue to make it to the end of the game. So I want to hit you while you're weak. That's why the wave 1 and the wave 2, that's what it's going to do. So we flood the area with these cornate berserkers. Victory for Khorne. The last wave piece, wave 4. This can be many things. Right now, it's still Helldrakes. I like Helldrakes. You know, in D&D, I'm kind of obsessed with dragons. So if I can play dragons in 40K, it kind of makes sense, even if they're chaos, mechanical, dark mechanicus space dragons. They run around and they're reactionary. They kind of look and see. They hang out in the middle of the table. They don't really have an assignment to them, where the other waves have a defined assignment. They look around and see, where do they need to be? What do they need to do? What are you going to give me as a player? Are you going to try and break out with a unit to counterattack? I hit you with the Space Dragons. Are you going to take like a scout unit and try to grab, depending on the mission? We play a lot of the older kind of relic type missions. You're going to try and grab that. I hit you with the Space Dragons. Do you have some sort of supporting unit in the back, heavy weapons teams or guard tanks, something that's going to hit me with some stuff at long range that I don't want to break off any of my other waves, but I can't let you hit me with that. I send in the Space Dragon, right? It kind of looks and sees, where does it need to be? How does it need to react? I don't have a plan for it. Its plan is literally what you as an opponent give me. That is my template for my Berserkers of Scalathrax. That is what I'm doing on the tabletop. There's not much shooting in there. It's like shooting phase is like, okay, done. I mean, there's not a lot. It's short range, it's close range, but it hits hard. It embraces the assault phase on there, and it is a challenging way to play a fun army and utilize that in the game. And with that, I would say immortality is yours. Be ready to take it.